Today we're going to look at Matthew chapter 22. And in this chapter, through parables and discussions with Pharisees, Jesus proves that he is the Messiah and that through him, he is the way to heaven. It also points out the two key commandments we are to follow, which is to love God and love people. In the first part of this chapter, it talks about a wedding banquet where a king invites just the chosen. Very few show up, so he wants a lot of people at this banquet, so he invites everyone. So he gets a full banquet, but the problem is there's one person that shows up that's not dressed for the wedding. So they banish him into the darkness. And what this shows or proves to me is that through Jesus is the only way to heaven. We're never qualified to attend this banquet. We're never going to be accepted into this banquet on our own. It's through Jesus that we're allowed to go to heaven. And further through this chapter, the Pharisees asked Jesus, what is the greatest commandment? And I'd like to read what his response. His response is, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. This is one of the things I feel like our church lives by. Love God and love people. And part of showing God our love for him is loving other people and showing others the love that God has. So if we're loving people and not being judgmental and we show them true love, then we're showing them God's love. And through later in this chapter, Jesus actually asked the Pharisees a question. He asked them, who is the son of the Messiah? They answered, the son of David. Jesus pointed out, David called God Lord, so how can he be his son? The only God can call the Messiah son. So it goes back to Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. And suddenly a voice came from heaven saying, this is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased. So God, in front of everybody, when Jesus is baptized, says that this is his son. So in this chapter, Matthew 22, it points out Jesus is the Messiah. He is the way to heaven. And our greatest commandments are love God and love people. God bless.